In the bustling city of Lagos, Nigeria, where life hummed with the energy of a million ambitions, there was a peculiar man named Bamidel. He was known across the city as Bamidel the Beggar. Clad in tattered clothes, with dusty feet and a beaten old calabash for collecting alms, he could often be seen roaming the streets, asking for spare change. To most, he was just another beggar lost in the crowd. But Bamidel was no ordinary beggar. The secret life of Bamidel. Unbeknownst to anyone, Bamidel was one of the richest men in Lagos. He owned vast estates, had several businesses, and even controlled a successful import-export company that brought in millions of naira each month. His luxurious mansion in Ikoyi was filled with priceless art, and his fleet of exotic cars could rival that of a prince. Yet every morning, Bamidel would rise before dawn, leave his mansion through a back entrance, change into his rags, and blend into the streets. He would spend hours under the scorching sun, sitting on the roadside or knocking on car windows in traffic, muttering, "Help your brother, even if it's just a little." One day, a journalist named Kemi, intrigued by Bamidel's persistence in a specific neighborhood, decided to follow him. She had often seen him disappear into a dilapidated shack in the outskirts of Surulere, but something about his mannerisms didn't sit right with her. After weeks of observation, Kemi saw Bamidel slip out of his shack late at night. Instead of heading to a shelter, he made his way to an inconspicuous black SUV parked nearby. He climbed in and drove off, eventually leading her to an expansive mansion in Ikoyi. Shocked, Kemi began investigating further, uncovering Bamidel's immense wealth and secret life. The confrontation Kemi confronted Bamidel one day after tracking him back to the streets. "Why do you live like this when you have so much?" she demanded. Bamidel smiled, his face creasing in a way that made him look both wise and weary. "Ah, my sister," he began. "I once had nothing. I grew up in these streets begging to survive. When fortune smiled on me, I never forgot what it felt like to have nothing. Dressing like this reminds me of where I came from and keeps me humble. It also lets me understand the struggles of those who truly have nothing." "But you deceive people," Kemi argued. "You take from those who may not have much themselves." Bamidel sighed. "It's not about the money. I give back more than I take. Every naira collected goes into funding schools, orphanages, and hospitals in the poorer parts of Lagos. I've built lives from these streets. Sometimes, to truly help, you must live among the people you serve." A legacy of humility. When Kemi published her story, Bamidel became a legend in Lagos. While some criticized his methods, others saw the wisdom in his actions. Despite the revelation, Bamidel continued his dual life, and more people started leaving offerings in his calabash, not out of pity, but out of respect for his unconventional generosity. He became a symbol of humility and the complexities of wealth, proof that riches do not always have to alienate someone from their roots.